It's time to tie one on, learn about the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center and Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson's role in the upcoming Red, White, and Blue Ball. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio. We're focused on the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center, and we're visiting with Melinda Chappell, its director. Good morning, Melinda.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Incredible opportunity to highlight what is not yet there, but will very soon be on the scene. Very exciting.
It is exciting. We're pretty pumped up about it.
And it still requires a director, though. I mean, you came on how long ago?
It will be 2 years in September.
Golly.
So there's been a lot of things happening. I've had the privilege of wearing a lot of different hats.
Yes.
To make this thing come together.
Well, considering your background, that's probably very easy to do. Very easy to do, but I know there's a ton going on. Where are you originally from, Melinda?
I'm from Columbia.
Okay.
So Carolina girl, you know, best in the world.
Yes.
So, love it.
What's that like for North Carolinians who think they're Carolina girls?
Oh, well, that's the best part is Carolina girls.
That's exactly right.
North, South Carolina, we're there.
Both states.
That's right.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Where did you attend school, Melinda?
Well, I went up to the upstate at Clemson, so I'm my blood runneth orange. So my undergrad's there. I got an undergrad degree in Recreation Parks Administration. Okay. Loved being in Clemson. And then had another opportunity to have the red blood at Carolina, USC, not the UNC Carolina, but the University of South Carolina. Got my master's in rehabilitation counseling.
Okay.
There.
And you said that your original, your BA was in...
Recreation Parks Administration.
What had been the original aspect? What were you thinking about focusing on with that degree?
Well, really wanted, since the youngest that I can remember, 13, 14, wanted to work with people with disabilities pretty much all my life. In the water. That was a big focus. So really wanted to go to Clemson, kind of wanted to move out of Columbia area for college, and thought Clemson would be the great place to be. And they had a great program, really focused on recreation and administration and programming. So that was a wonderful education, really opened up opportunities to be in different types of settings, and moved back to Columbia and worked in a private, for-profit facility, working with children and adolescents, helping them in their recreation and working on quality of life issues.
And you were doing that, Melinda, before getting the master's in rehabilitation counseling.
Yes. Okay. As a matter of fact, I worked in one facility and then moved and worked for the state, South Carolina Vocational Rehabilitation, and worked there for about 13 years. And again, worked in aquatics and recreation and fitness, and really focused on disabilities in that environment.
Now, what was it, Melinda, at age 13, 14, that really got you interested in potentially being in rehabilitation counseling? Right.
Well, it was real interesting. Not interesting at the time. I had an injury and had been in the hospital for several weeks and had worked with physical therapists afterwards and wasn't able to run for 3 years because of an injury and really had a desire to be in the water and was pretty successful in that environment and saw the benefits of it for people with disabilities as well as people of all capabilities, and really kind of tagged into that environment and thought what a great area to exercise, and really kind of compelled me to be in other activities as well, working with people with disabilities. I had 4 brothers, so being in an athletic environment was one that I really kind of chose and sought out, and really wanted to work with people.
Share real quick with viewers who may not be familiar with rehabilitation in water. What are the benefits there, and was much of your rehabilitation over those 3 years or over that time in water?
Well, a good part of it was the water is a stabilizing factor. When you have water at chest level, you're able to exercise easier in the water than anywhere else. So if you have a disability, if you've had a stroke, or have had problems with arthritis, fibromyalgia, any type of disability, even quadriplegics, folks there can get in the water and it's equalizing factor. Matter of fact, you and I could swim against somebody with a disability, maybe a quadriplegic or a paraplegic, a lot of times they could dust us in the water.
Wow.
Because it's such an equalizing environment.
That's fascinating. I'm sure that's something that a lot of folks don't think about. Well, that must have really gotten you interested when you found out about this possibility in North Myrtle Beach.
It did. I feel like it was a God thing. It was an environment that they were looking for a director to pull together a dynamic aquatic and fitness center, and wellness was a big focus. And I learned about the position and applied for it, and really thought with some of my previous experiences and be involved in facilities that were brand new, but I walked in and helped develop the programs, policies, and procedures. Really recognized where maybe the architects were short-sighted in a couple areas where a user could come in and recognize how can we better the facility and make it more accessible, make it more accommodating for the user than just something that is architecturally pleasing. So that's really what enticed me into this facility. I could do something from ground floor, wear those different hats, recognizing the accessibility issues, targeting things that we feel would benefit our community as a whole in the design and development of it, and programming, what we wanted to try to do.
Melinda, I'm glad you mentioned your previous experience. What kind of therapeutic programs did you provide when you were living in the Midlands, and what types of disabilities did people in your program groups have?
Right. Well, we served all different disabilities. Like I said, some that were more visible, people in wheelchairs, and then folks that had back injuries, had shoulder injuries, head injuries, all different types of disabilities that really hindered somebody's mobility and employment. So our focus was to provide exercises that help them get stronger, help folks get back to work. And we feel like this will be a good carryover into the new setting with North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center. How
exciting, Melinda. That is fascinating. What about growing up in a family of 4 brothers? Did you have sisters as well?
No, I'm my parents' favorite daughter.
Oh.
Yes, favorite daughter.
That is.
So it was a lot of fun. Gave me an opportunity to fight and learn how to grow up and be a little bit more aggressive and assertive, but also have the nice feminine side of how to woo my dad's.
Oh.
Get him to kind of do things that maybe I want him to do, or let me do. Let's put it that way.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, when did you relocate to the area, and the prompting for the move here was this position?
Absolutely. And to be at the beach. When you were at Clemson, we spent the first week at the beach. So I had my first introduction during that time. Well, I'd been to the beach down here a long time. But the move was more geared towards this dynamic facility and how we can serve the community with the start of a brand new fitness, aquatic, and wellness center. We've partnered with Seacoast Medical, which adds a real wonderful dynamic to the programs that we're going to be able to offer there.
And Seacoast, for viewers who may not be familiar with Seacoast, that's tied into
Loris Hospital
Loris
System.
Regional Health, or Loris
Absolutely.
Hospital, right?
Yeah, what a blessing it's going to be. They're going to be in our facility, helping us with our health and wellness programs. As a matter of fact, we've already partnered on some of the programs that we're going to be offering once a month, bringing in doctors to talk about certain programs or issues, healthcare issues that are some concerns in our community.
Well, the great aspect here, Melinda, is where you'll all be located. They're on 2nd Avenue in North Myrtle. To think folks from Calabash or Brunswick County or throughout Columbus County or Horry or even into Marion County can just cruise on down Highway 9, roll right into North Myrtle, or come down 17. What a magnificent location.
Right, and we really wanted to be in that area within the North Myrtle Beach, but to be able to reach out in that 10 to 15 mile radius. You're right, the highway is really making it easier for people to have better access to the facility. So we'll be an expansion of the city facilities, and it's going to be really awesome.
And it is city facilities. So your position now is working with the city of North Myrtle Beach.
Correct.
Okay, what's that exact title?
Well, Director of the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center. It's a mouthful.
Yes, that is. That is. North Myrtle Beach itself's a mouthful, but adding on Aquatic and Fitness Center really makes it there. When you think about the role you've taken on almost 2 years now in developing this development phase of the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center, how has that evolved over the last 23 months?
Right. It's been awesome, Greg. We have had such good community involvement. We've had citizens involved in every aspect of the programming and design of the facility. We've had professors, retired professors, that have been involved with us to help plan and design and development. We've really integrated within the community as best we could to inform and what's going on there. We've had focus groups even prior to me being involved. This has been a project that's been talked about for about 12 years. And now we're really getting our feet to the fire to make it happen. And so it's really been learning the community, learning that we have a lot of kids in our community alongside of our seniors and folks that come in and service all the projects that are already in programs and accommodations and good things that we have in our area. That this has been something we've really tried to pull different businesses and to be part of what we're doing. And like I said with the Seacoast Medical, just what an asset it's going to be really for a whole community. Not only for the citizens that are there, we're always serving the tourists. We just don't serve ourselves. We've got the beautiful beaches, got the wonderful golf courses, but to have a facility as dynamic as this and the programs that we're going to be able to offer, it's time we take care of our own selves, really develop quality of life issues, take care of those needs with our own citizens in our own community.
Well, listen to you, Melinda. You've got a passion. This is fantastic, hearing you talk. It's so exciting, and to talk about lots of different businesses getting involved. To have Melissa coming in a minute to talk about Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson and the excitement that they've gotten involved in the red, white, and blue ball. When we think about, and I'm glad you mentioned some of the programs, you talk real quick for the viewers who may not be familiar with exactly what an aquatic and fitness center would do and what some of the programs when you're tying into Seacoast, what are some of the programs planned and what groups will be able to utilize the center?
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is.
We're going to do all
mouthful.
sorts of fun things. We are going to have a nice dynamic fitness area with the weight machines, cardiovascular training. We'll be able to do cardiac rehab phase 3, phase 4 in that setting. And all our equipment is going to be designed for accessibility. Again, that's a heart of mine, to really be able to serve everybody. We really want to serve our youngest child to our oldest senior. We're going to have a walking track above our gymnasium. We're going to have a racquetball courts. We're going to have 2 swimming pools, which is going to be awesome for those that have rehabilitative issues, but also for our young kids that 1 or 2 years old or 3 that don't like to be in cold water. We'll be able to provide a warm water environment and then be able to transfer over to swim team, deep water aerobics, water activities. We'd like to be able to bring colleges and universities in to be able to exercise and to be able to bring their swim teams down.
Oh, yeah.
Which will be, we'll be able to put those heads in beds in our community. And we think that's going to be a big component. Programs, Seacoast Health and Wellness. We're going to have diabetes education. We'll probably have different seminars on a weekly, monthly basis. We'd like to do some nutrition education and counseling. We'd love to have arthritis exercise programs, have classes for fibromyalgia, but also be able to teach swim lessons, be able to teach our kids how to be safe in and around the water. We'd like to have an area where we'll be able to do a lot of long life recreational activities, reintroduce some things that people maybe have forgotten about, but really be a place where your community will be able to find one another, kind of a one center where everybody will be part of some programs and activities that will be able to serve our community.
How exciting, Melinda. This is big.
It is
This
big.
is really big. Well, where do some projects stand right now?
Well, we are moving forward. We hope, Lord willing, we'll break ground in the new year. We have come up with our design. The architects are hard at working with finishing some of the construction documents. We'll be putting out our bids probably in November, December. And then that will give us an idea, once the bids come back in, what type of total facility we'd like to, what that we'll be able to afford, and that's critical.
Melissa will be coming in to talk about Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson's a role in the red, white, and blue ball. But real quick, as a primer to that, how did the idea for the ball come about, and when was it first held?
Greg, when I came in North Myrtle Beach, my first day was September 17th. So it was right after September 11th. And there was a real concern, and people started looking at, what's my family life like? What's my community like? How am I involved in my community? How am I involved in my family? And we felt like this was a unique opportunity to really build a facility that's community-minded, community-oriented. And we thought having an event centered around quality of life issues, centered around the community as a whole. Red, White, and Blue Ball really had a real target for us, that we wanted to bring something that was really our own, within our own community, within the North Myrtle Beach, North Strand, and really the whole Grand Strand area. So that's really how it got started. We held it last year. It's a wonderful, beautiful event held at Barefoot Resort. What a lovely setting that is. We had, and really people left that event going, we need to do more of this. We need to get together more. We had such a good time. So really it was kind of a community wellspring of an activity we thought would be tied into quality of life issues, and red, white, and blue is important.
And lastly, Melinda, do you still need, are auction items still needed for the event, and who can someone contact for information, and are tickets still available?
Yeah, we are really open for any auction items. We've got wonderful items coming in from activities for our kids, for golf, for hotel stays, accommodations. So we're looking for great artwork. We're going to be highlighting some of our own community people. Books, authors are providing things. So it's really exciting. They can call me at 280-5632 and ask for me, and I'll be able to get some information to them. We have a program book that will go out to all the participants in the event that night for the auction. I'm really excited about having Harley involved with the 2 bikes that they're going to be auctioning. I know Melissa's going to be talking about that in a minute, but that's just the neat thing of being involved in the community. We've had good number of businesses that have contributed to this. Last year we had over 100 businesses that have given us items, so we expect that and more for this event.
Absolutely. Expecting that and more is exactly what we've heard. The last 15 minutes, if you've been sitting here, you can hear the passion of Melinda Chappell, the new director of the North Myrtle Beach Fitness and Aquatic Center. How gigantic. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Well, thank you, Craig. And our tagline is growing stronger together. And that's what we're all about, growing stronger as a community, as an individual, and really feel like this facility will help grow our business community stronger as well.
Growing stronger together. Stay tuned to Melissa Newsom coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio. We're focused on the red, white, and blue ball, and we're visiting with Melissa Newsom, a public relations representative for Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson, the presenting sponsor for this year's red, white, and blue ball to benefit the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much for coming in, Melissa. How exciting.
Thank you. It's wonderful. As you saw with Melinda, it's a very exciting project.
To see that passion and true community support, and to see what Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson has done. This is gigantic.
It's fun.
It really is. Two motorcycles.
2 motorcycles.
How did they come out? I mean, that's a big deal.
It
How did they
is.
determine that not one was enough, but we had to go out and give 2 off for auction? That's gigantic.
It's for a good cause. The North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center is something that Harley is embracing. They just opened a new store in North Myrtle Beach, and it just really fit right in. It was a good match.
And look at you wearing these great Harley colors
That's right.
today, Melissa. Yeah, I hope all viewers know those are truly, of course, with Melinda, you would have thought there was some tie into Clemson, but it's Harley-Davidson. It's Harley-Davidson. Real quick about yourself, Melissa. Are you originally from the area?
No, I'm not. I'm originally from the Midwest, where it was too cold. So in the early 80s, my family moved to Florida, where it was too hot. So in the early 90s, we moved to the upstate, South Carolina, over in Greenwood area. And they've stayed there.
And you moved on down to the Strand. When did you come down?
First time I was down here was in 1992 as a freshman at Coastal Carolina University. I majored in marine science because I love the water, quite simply, but I also love to write. So after I graduated from Coastal, I went to Florida again for a couple years, and then I found myself at The Ohio State University earning my master's degree in journalism.
Is that right? Wow. Is that what brought you back to Myrtle?
The ocean brought me back to Myrtle Beach. I had spent my summers of grad school down here working on the beach in the recreation and tourism industries for Downwind Sales and for George Lack.
Oh, yeah.
So I kept coming back during the summers, and then after I graduated, I moved back here permanently in 2001.
How exciting. Well, what about giving up? Obviously, you haven't given up, but the master's in journalism, that's a big deal.
Oh, well, it is. But I met Mary Eady, president of the Wordsmith. I met her through George Lack, and so I've been writing and producing PR campaigns for 2 years now.
That is amazing. We're working on the beach and the excitement of being out there and knowing that you're protecting lives on a daily basis, and now coming in to protect Mary there at the Wordsmith is truly a treat, I'm sure.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm meeting lots of great people, and the South Carolina feel, the hospitality really is there, and that Southern hospitality does exist, and it's fun down here.
And Melissa, how did you come to join the Wordsmith? How did you find Mary, or Mary found you?
I found her, I think, through George Lack. He's friends with Mary, and so I met her that way, and timing was just right.
And that obviously tied in. How long has the Wordsmith Inc. been involved with Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson?
For a little over a year now.
Okay.
Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson hired us last year to help them improve communications with county council. Wordsmith often helps companies improve their communication with public bodies. So they hired us last year to do that.
What are some of the ways in which you've helped them?
We have represented them at city council workshops, county council meetings, to the media. We put them in front of the right people to help them do what they need to do.
And that is truly Mary's. I know Mary's coming in tomorrow to talk, but it is, what's the phrase about getting in touch with the right people? Or there's a great...
Our tagline is proving your credibility and integrity to the right people.
Proving your credibility and integrity to the right people.
Right.
Well, that shows. Being associated with Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson's a big enough deal itself. That's fantastic.
It is.
That's fantastic. Melissa, when you think about y'all's desire to really get out, and Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson's desire to really get out and help the community of North Myrtle Beach and open a new store up there, this red, white, and blue ball, nothing better. No bigger opportunity.
No. I mean, what's more Americana than Harley? And the fitness tie-in. The recreation is a big part of the quality of life along the Grand Strand, Harley, and then what Melinda is doing with the Aquatic and Fitness Center. It was just a natural fit. The longer people stay in shape, the longer they can ride Harleys.
Melissa, speaking of Harleys, why would a viewer want to visit Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson? What's there for someone who doesn't own a motorcycle? What would encourage someone to come and visit the store?
The stores are fabulous. Aside from the great showroom of motorcycles and a terrific service department, you can rent motorcycles there, and they sell high-quality clothing, accessories, unique gift items like Harley coffee and Harley Monopoly. I think people are one of two categories. You either have a Harley or you wish you had a Harley. So there's something for everyone there, truly. And they also have a great website, myrtlebeachharley.com, and that talks about upcoming events and tours. And with this being their 100th year anniversary, there's an awful lot going on around the country.
Golly, this is the 100-year anniversary of Harley-Davidson.
Right.
That is fantastic. Who are the principals in Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson? When did they open up here on the Strand?
Phil Schoonover has had Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson since 1998, and he now has 4 stores. One is in North Myrtle Beach, and then there are 3 in Myrtle Beach, Broadway at the Beach, Ocean Boulevard, and South Kings Highway.
Golly, that is amazing. That is amazing. Obviously, the big focus is the red, white, and blue ball. Let's talk about the ball. How did you all, obviously, you determined this was something that Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson really wanted to get active in. Talk about the ball for viewers who may not be familiar with it.
The ball is a terrific fundraising opportunity for the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center. It's a big gala held August 16th at Barefoot Resort. We expect to have hundreds of people there. There's a live auction, a silent auction, dancing with Billy Scott and the Prophets. And we are also offering all our guests an opportunity to have their pictures taken with a motorcycle that Harley's donating. So we hope to raise quite a bit of money to help with the construction costs and the equipment costs for the new facility.
Oh, yeah. Now, who's been involved in preparing for this year's gala?
There is a very energetic and focused group of volunteers and sponsors. Melinda Chappell has been heading that up, and we've all been working very hard to determine the menu selection and the band selection and prepare the invitations that went out.
Mm-hmm. What are some other activities or charitable groups that Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson's been involved in? I know, obviously, this is a gigantic focus, but there's so many things that they've reached out to support.
There really are. They work with the schools and a lot of the different sporting activities that come to town. They keep it local, really.
Mm-hmm.
They want to let Myrtle Beach and the Grand Strand know that they are a friend and a neighbor, and they are open to supporting so many things, especially with the children in the area.
Mm-hmm. And that really makes a commitment to someone who's involved in a charitable group, who may not be familiar with, as you said, that aspect of either you own a Harley or you want to own one. There's probably a couple of folks who are fearful at some level of motorcycles, and so, but going into a store to support a location, knowing they have friends that would enjoy some Harley paraphernalia or Harley coffee or Harley Monopoly, I mean, that could be an exciting thing for a viewer who may not own a bike themselves.
That's
so
right.
That's a big deal. Will you and Mary be attending the Red, White, and Blue Ball?
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll probably be wearing leather and our American flag bandanas. It's a great time to dress up and be biker babes for an evening, and we wouldn't miss it for the world.
I love it. Mary Edie in leather?
Absolutely.
Woo! What a big night. What a big night. And when you think about the evening that night and all the aspects that goes into it, if there was one aspect in particular that is the focus for that night, can you think of the prime focus?
The auction. Harley-Davidson has donated 2 motorcycles. One is a Sportster 883, valued at around $10,000, and the other one is a V-Rod 100th anniversary edition, and that's valued at right around $20,000. And that will be the most fun, watching those bids come for that.
You heard her say it. Get out there August 16th, Barefoot Resort, the Red, White, and Blue Ball. Melissa, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Melinda Chappell and Melissa Newsom for making today's Carolina People such a great success. You heard her say it, growing stronger together. Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson and the North Myrtle Beach Aquatic and Fitness Center. Catch Mary Edie tomorrow on Carolina People.